In the city of Malton, crime is at an all-time high, with murder, robbery and corruption ruling the streets. With the public demanding results and an end to crime, a task force was created to combat these vile criminal elements as they continue to plague this city. The squad was responsible for capturing the city's most wanted criminals, and we always got our man. The public called us the Crime Busters. The squad was led by me, Lieutenant Jim Reed, though most people here call me Noire Reed. And in this story of the Noire Files, we look at Brett stepping up to the plate to take down the Duke, whilst also going up against a terrorist group, Ares, and are led by one of their most sadistic operatives. That man's name was General Ori Mann. Now, General Ori Mann was born into a well-respected and a beloved military family that goes all the way back to the American Civil War, where they fought on the side of the Union. Most members of this family have either served in uniform or have done some kind of service for this country. Now, Ori Mann knew since he was a kid he wanted to be in the army. Hell, his favorite subject in school was either sports, and he loved to learn about the history about the American Civil War. He would later go on to go to West Point and graduated at the highest honors. He earned the rank of captain, and he was eventually deployed to Iraq, and there he rose to the rank of major of the 789th Corps. But all that changed when the Wakandana War broke out. And because of his, impressive reputation and valor, the major was then transferred to command the Tango Company. He was also promoted to the rank of colonel. Now, during his time as head of Tango Company, he served with many great soldiers. These included Clint Wayne, aka Texas, now we already did a video about him, and Magnum Harry, who would later join the FBI. However, war does take a toll on a man, and this was especially for the colonel, as eventually many members of Tango Company would go into one of the most dangerous battles of the entire war, the Battle of Grey Wounds. Now, information on that battle has been hushed up by the upper brasses, and the men who came out of that battle were never the same. And as for Man, however, he ended up being kidnapped by the enemy and was held captive for 9 months, and he was presumed dead by the army. During these 9 months of torture, his mind began to deteriorate rapidly, and he developed a grudge against the army as he felt that they had abandoned him and left him to suffer. However, eventually one day, a group of black ops, well, I guess you could call them that, bursted into the place and shot up the joint. Now, the men that bursted into the place ended up rescuing everyone held at the facility, and they were offered employment within this organization. Ori Man immediately joined up, and he was offered the rank of general in their ranks. Now, this organization that rescued them, these men were Ares. Now, Ares is a terrorist group that operated around the nation with several chapters near certain cities. It was said that they have their roots dating way back to World War II. And they have essentially 2 goals: to make money and take over the world. When General Man was made head of a local platoon, he eventually earned a reputation in the organization as a great earner and taking over assets for their cause. Over the years, he did business deals with the Duke, and when the Duke offered his city in exchange for muscle, he agreed to help. So the general had to lead a group of Ares soldiers to Molten City for a takeover. Eventually, he sent his soldiers over to the local news station where battle broke out. He had taken over the place, blocked all roads in and out of the city, and said on live television that the Duke was now in charge of the city. And then the group of Ares soldiers are taking over. They are now in charge. When this got to the news, the crime busters came together to take down the threat. There was also a group of FBI agents who were also led by Agent Magnum Harry, and a group of SWAT officers led by Sergeant Ben Byrne. However, I was not a part of this event as I was still haunted over the death of Ziva Todds. At first, I didn't like the idea of taking orders from a kid, but he came up with a smart plan to storm the place and take back the news station. When the squads were in place to storm the news station, well, let's just say what always happens with us: hell broke out. They took back the news station, but at a cost. Olivia, was killed. They went through the plans that they found, and then they realized that they were going to attack the city's military base. The same base, ironically, that the Spectre had targeted nearly a year before. Just as they found out their plans, the Duke and the General were already there along with several members of Ares. They broke into the base, went through the facility until they made their way to a restricted section.
Damn, I thought that was closer.
They ended up in a car chase, and that car chase soon ended, and then the crime busters ended up face to face with General Mann and the rest of the Ares soldiers. Brett was on the ground, and just when General Mann was about to shoot him, a rifle went off. It ended up wounding the good old general in the shoulder, and he collapsed to the ground. The fight was won. However, the Duke got away with the weapon that he was after, but he ended up taking a few hostages. First Ducky and Abby, and then when Brett wasn't looking, himself. The good old general managed to escape capture, along with a good number of Ares forces. However, while the Duke did go further onto ground, he had essentially really lost control of the city, as we had an anonymous email sent to us giving up the names of who was on the Duke's payroll, and with the FBI's help and internal affairs, and the crime busters and the SWAT team that helped us, they began a roundup of everyone on the Duke's payroll. The people that were rounded up included Commissioner Jonathan Ricardo, Mayor Hugo Large, and DA Tiffany Havelock. However, Malone avoided arrest, and he too went on the run. When I heard they kidnapped Ducky, I got out of my slump and rejoined the crime busters, and declared a war on the rest of Ares' forces, along with both General Mann, the Duke, and Elliot Malone. They were next. But all that is to be continued in the next Noir Files.